Hi, I'm Callie. Just your average American girl who thought she'd found her fairy tale ending during what was supposed to be a 2 week vacation in Portugal. That's where I met Derek. Tall, charming, with this accent that made everything sound important. We bumped into each other at a cafe in Lisbon when I spilled my coffee all over his expensive looking shoes. Those were my favorite shoes, you know. I'm so sorry. Let me pay for the cleaning, or how about dinner instead? Tonight at 8? That's how it started. 2 weeks turned into a month as Derek showed me around. The beaches, the food, the culture, everything was magical. By week 3, we were inseparable. I've never felt this way about anyone, Callie. I know it's fast, but when you know, you know. 6 months later, we were married in a small ceremony. My parents couldn't make it. They thought it was too rushed, but I was sure. Moving to Portugal seemed like an adventure. Derek's family welcomed me with open arms, especially his mother, Vivian. We're so happy to have you join our family, dear. Derek has always had excellent taste. Our first month in their family estate was perfect. The house was massive, overlooking the Atlantic. Derek worked with his father in their family business, and I was settling in, learning Portuguese, and getting to know his family. Then things started changing. Callie, dear, American women tend to dress so casually. In our circles, appearances matter. Vivian smiled while adjusting my collar one morning before breakfast. The way you addressed Marcus yesterday was inappropriate. In this household, men are respected. This came after I'd joked with Derek's father about his golf skills. Your makeup is too bold. More natural looks are preferred in our family. Small comments became daily occurrences. Derek would shrug them off. Mom's just old-fashioned. She means well. Then I needed my passport to open a bank account. I couldn't find it anywhere. Derek, have you seen my passport? I've looked everywhere. You probably misplaced it. You've been forgetful lately. I'm never forgetful about important documents. Maybe it's the stress of adjusting. Look, I'll help you find it later, but I need to get to work. But he never did help. 3 days of searching turned up nothing. I started noticing other things too. My phone would mysteriously move from where I left it. My email password was changed once. My calls to friends back home always seemed to be interrupted by Vivian needing help with something urgent. Last night, I went downstairs for water and heard voices from Marcus's study. I froze when I heard my name. Callie is proving more difficult than the others. She questions too much. Vivian's voice was crisp, clinical. She's American, what did you expect? But every woman can be taught. Marcus sounded amused. The obedience lessons need to be accelerated. Derek agrees she needs more structure. We'll start tomorrow. I backed away silently, my heart pounding. What others? What obedience lessons? And why did my husband agree to whatever they were planning? I waited until morning to confront Derek about what I'd heard. He was getting dressed for work when I approached him. I heard your parents talking last night about obedience lessons for me, and I want my passport back now. Derek turned to me, his expression a mixture of surprise and annoyance. You were eavesdropping? That's exactly why Mom says you need guidance. Americans have no sense of privacy or respect. Don't change the subject. Where's my passport? I told you. You probably misplaced it. And whatever you think you heard was just a misunderstanding. My parents want to help you adjust to our culture. By hiding my documents and talking about obedience? You're being paranoid, Callie. Maybe you need to see someone about these delusions. That afternoon, Vivian called a family meeting where she laid out new household guidelines. My stomach dropped as she spoke. Callie, as the newest member of our family, you need structure. First, your wardrobe needs approval before leaving the house. Second, meals will be taken together, no exceptions. Third, no phone calls without family present. It's for practicing Portuguese. Fourth, you'll assist me with household duties daily for proper training. These aren't guidelines. They're prison rules. This attitude is precisely why we're concerned. Derek, explain to your wife how things work here. Derek just nodded. It's for your own good, Callie. Every family has rules. Over the next week, I noticed Marcus would coincidentally appear wherever I went in the house. When I went to the garden, he was pruning plants. Library? He needed a book. Kitchen? Suddenly, he wanted coffee. One afternoon, Derek's sister Elena visited. She seemed different from the others, pulling me aside while everyone was busy. They're pretty intense, huh? Mom's always been controlling. Don't worry, I get it. Can you help me find my passport? I think they took it. That sounds extreme, but I'll keep an eye out. Just try to play along for now. It gets easier. I thought I'd found an ally until I noticed Elena whispering to Vivian later, both glancing my way before quickly changing their expressions when they saw me looking. While cleaning the library under Vivian's orders, I discovered a loose panel behind one of the bookshelves. Inside was a leather-bound journal. I quickly hid it and read it that night in the bathroom with the shower running. It contained detailed notes about Sophia, Derek's second choice, with daily reports on her progress and resistance points. The similarities to my situation were chilling. Notes like removed communication devices and isolated from external influences made my blood run cold. That night, I snuck down to use the landline while everyone slept. I called the one person I knew would help without questions. Jack, it's Callie. I'm in trouble. Real trouble. Callie, it's 3 a.m. What's wrong? I think I married into some kind of cult. They've taken my passport, they're monitoring me, and I found evidence they've done this before. Holy shit. Are you safe right now? For the moment. But I need help getting out. Can you still get into email accounts like you did in college? Yeah, but I need you to access mine. They're watching my phone. I'll create a new account tomorrow from their computer and send you everything. I need evidence before I run. The next morning, I started my evidence collection. I used my one chance on the family computer while checking Portuguese recipes to set up a secure email account and message Jack. After 3 days, I got his response through the new account. I've got a contact at the embassy there. Document everything. Need solid proof for consular intervention. Photos, recordings, anything? Can you safely get access to devices? I remembered Derek's old smartwatch he never used. That night, I slipped it from his drawer and activated the recording function. The next day's progress meeting captured everything I needed. Callie, your resistance continues to disappoint. Derek tells me you're still asking about leaving to visit your family. Vivian's voice was ice cold. I just want to know when I can see them. When you've demonstrated proper integration into this family, the last girl, Sophia, asked too many questions too. She never learned. What happened to her? She chose to leave abruptly, very ungrateful after everything we did. I strategically placed the watch during 3 more meetings, capturing Marcus and Vivian discussing containment methods, and Derek agreeing that I needed to be broken of American independence. I needed more evidence, so I took a risk while everyone attended a neighbor's dinner party. Elena claimed a migraine, so I had to be careful. Vivian's study was locked, but the old hairpin trick actually worked. Inside, the mahogany desk drawers were also locked. I found a letter opener to jimmy them open. The bottom drawer contained a folder labeled Acquisitions. Inside were 3 sections. Sophia, failed. Maria, failed. And Callie, in progress. My hands trembled as I photographed each page with the secret phone Jack had instructed me to buy and hide. Behind more folders, I found it. My passport, along with 2 others belonging to Sofia Martinez and Maria Dinescu. I photographed these too. Documents showed Derek had been legally married to both women, with marriage certificates and hastily filed divorce papers citing abandonment. I heard footsteps and quickly replaced everything except photos of my own documents. The door opened just as I closed the drawer. What are you doing in Mother's study? Elena stood in the doorway. Just cleaning. Vivian mentioned she wanted this room done while you were all out. I held up the dusting cloth I'd brought as cover. Elena's eyes narrowed. Mother never allows anyone in here unsupervised. She must trust me more now. I've been working hard to follow the rules. I'll help you finish. She watched me dust for 15 excruciating minutes before we left together. That night, I emailed Jack everything and outlined my escape plan. I created a digital deadman switch. If I didn't enter a code every 24 hours, all evidence would automatically go to Portuguese police, the American embassy, and 3 news outlets. I've found everything, 3 women including me, I have my passport now. Embassy contact ready? His response came quickly. Everything's set. 2 days. Be ready. The final pieces of my plan fell into place over the next 2 days. I packed a small emergency bag and hid it in the garden shed. The family was planning a formal dinner, apparently a tradition when they felt their training was progressing well. Vivian spent the morning instructing me on proper table settings. Tonight is important, Callie. We'll evaluate your progress formally. Wear the blue dress I selected. Of course, Vivian. I want everything to be perfect. My stomach churned as I smiled sweetly. That evening, everyone gathered in the formal dining room. Derek seemed pleased with my compliance, patting my hand as I served wine perfectly to his specifications. You see, Mother? Callie is adapting beautifully. We'll see. Tonight's evaluation will determine if more intensive measures are necessary. What exactly do these intensive measures involve, Vivian? I asked innocently. Marcus cleared his throat. Nothing to concern yourself with if tonight goes well. And if it doesn't? Derek squeezed my hand painfully under the table. Let's focus on dinner, shall we? As Marcus carved the roast, a car pulled into the driveway. Elena peered through the curtains. Are we expecting someone? The doorbell rang, and Vivian nodded for me to answer it. I opened the door to find Jack standing there with 2 officers and a woman in a suit. Sorry I'm late for dinner, Jack said loudly, walking in as if invited. Vivian stood immediately. Who is this man? Callie, explain this intrusion. This is my friend Jack, and these are officers Mateo and Lucia from the Portuguese Federal Police, along with Rebecca from the American Consulate. Derek approached aggressively. What is the meaning of this? Perhaps we should discuss the passports of 3 women you've kept hidden, or the detailed journals documenting your family's systematic abuse of your wives. I pulled out a folder containing copies of everything I'd found. You have no right to go through our private things, Marcus shouted, pounding his fist on the table. Private things like my passport? Or Sophia's? Or Maria's? I opened the folder and spread out photocopies of all 3 passports. Vivian's face drained of color. These are private family matters. Officers, this woman is mentally unstable. Is that why you documented my instability so meticulously? Or why you have recordings of your obedience lessons? I played the first recording from Derek's watch through my phone. Derek's voice filled the room. She's not adapting like the others. We may need to consider medication options like we discussed with Maria. You've been recording us? That's illegal, Marcus sputtered. Actually, Officer Mateo interjected, in Portugal, recording conversations you're part of is perfectly legal when there's suspicion of criminal activity. Which files would you like first, officers? The false imprisonment evidence, the identity theft, or the documentation of psychological abuse? I handed Rebecca a thumb drive. 3 months later, I sat in a New York cafe with Jack, watching the international news report on the Santos family's court case. Derek and his parents received 3-year sentences for unlawful imprisonment and psychological abuse. Their reputation was destroyed, their business collapsed, and their social standing ruined permanently. You sure you don't want to be there for the verdict? Jack asked. No, I'm done giving them any part of my life. I've already given them too much. What would you have done in Callie's position? Would you have exposed the family publicly and sought legal punishment? Or would you have simply escaped and tried to move on with your life? The question of whether complete revenge is healing or just keeps you tied to your abusers is something many survivors struggle with. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on how you would handle a situation where someone tried to control and manipulate you. If you enjoyed this story of justice served cold, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories where toxic people get exactly what they deserve. New stories posted every day.